Hello and welcome to another edition of UFO Video Addicts. Let me give you a preview of what I got coming up in this video. Let's see, the first is a UFO sighting out of Toronto. Also have this video of this Kofu UFO incident where two Japanese kids encountered a UFO. Let's see, also have this video from 2008 out of Mexico where you have like a news crew and people with professional camera equipment videotaping a UFO. Let's see, this is a video about the World War II Foo fighters when the pilots during World War II were encountering UFOs. And this basically tells the story of how the term Foo Fighter came into existence. This is a video about these strange little people, wooden dolls that were found in these wooden coffins. It's kind of a mystery. Let's see, also have this newspaper clipping about a city that was discovered in St. Louis, Missouri at the bottom of a 350-foot coal shaft. Here is a brief article about the oldest recorded Bigfoot encounter. Let's see, I also have this article, newly uncovered NASA reports reveal pilots' encounters with UFOs. Again, proving that, NASA has always been lying to us. This is a video with Brian Forster where he introduces you to Petra Jordan. And, he shows you a part that, most people don't usually see because you have to go further into the area. But yeah, he shows you these giant caverns that, he doesn't believe were done by primitive people, as some of the academics like to claim. So anyways, let's go to this first video here. This is out of Toronto. Now this guy's going to show you what a plane looks like, compares this to a plane, and then see, this is a plane.
That's what an airplane looks like. Oh, geez, there they are again.
Look at that.
Oh my God, I have no clue what that is.
Told you I saw something weird.
We gotta get out from under this light.
Now, again, this is, one of many videos of these. I don't know if this is one object or if it's three separate objects.
Look, there's another one. There's another one coming up over there.
Oh, it's three. It is. They are separate.
Oh, this is so going on YouTube today. Look at this.
Okay, I don't want to play this, I don't want to play this guy's video, too much of it. I want you to go to his channel and check it out, but I will leave a link in the description. This just happened yesterday, March 20th. So let's see, go to this video here. Yeah, this is about the Kofu UFO incident where a couple Japanese kids encountered a UFO. Check this out.
1 to 2 meters. Had 3 oval landing gears. Had changed from its orange color and was now a silver-like stainless steel with a dim shine. Had 5 strange, unrecognizable characters written on both sides. Had a slightly tinted window near the top that wrapped completely around the dome, which was initially spinning. And a ladder or staircase with 7 steps that descended down to the ground. Almost paralyzed in shock, the boys stood and watched it, but the flying saucer was the least of their worries at this point, because something else was in the great field that day, something seemingly not from this world. Yamahata and Kono were circling the craft at a 1 meter distance, trying to work out exactly what it was. Just when Yamahata thought about going home to get his parents to come and take a look, they were bathed in what they described as a silver light. A door had opened on the craft, and a figure stepped outside. According to the boys, the humanoid figure stood at around 130 centimeters tall, or approximately 4 foot 3 inches. It had brown skin. It had no hair at all on any part of its body. All the way down its face were long, deep wrinkles. It seemed to have no eyes or nose. It had 3 large white fangs coming out from the top of its mouth. It had 4 fingers on each hand, which were also wrinkled and brown. It had large pointed ears with dark holes. Its clothing was shiny silver and was accompanied by a belt around the waist and what looked like a zipper along the spine. Slung over its shoulder was something that looked like a rifle that had a pointed barrel with a small trumpet-like ending around it. Its boots were divided in 2 where the toes would be on a regular person. The figure walked around the craft and came up behind Yamahata. With its right hand, it tapped him twice on the left shoulder. When he turned around, he saw it face to face. Then it began to speak to him.
顔は何色だった？
茶色。
目とか鼻ってあんのかな？
牙だけあって口はないけど、牙だけ3本あって。
牙？
手みたい。
手みたいな。なんか宇宙人に話さなかった？
宇宙ってテープでその逆に回して。もっと早く早く。
早い。
Well, anyways, this is a 27-minute video. Very, very interesting. One thing I want to point out when they were talking about the ship, they said that a ladder came out, and I've mentioned before in some of my other videos how I think it was Colonel Corso who said that that our government has categorized 57 different species of aliens, and that all of them have different levels of technology. And when he was talking about some of their ships, he said some of the aliens have the technology where they can float down. They have like a tractor beam where they can send people down. Others have the ability to just enter and exit dimensional holes, whereas these guys, they have ladders. Their ships, right? They're not able to have a beam to send them down. These guys actually have a ladder, and they have to climb down the ladder. Thought that was kind of interesting. Okay, now I got this video. I think it's out of Mexico, but these are professional cameramen with professional equipment filming this UFO.
Also, I think that as somebody mentioned, this is a hot sighting area, this place. Okay, Jaime. I will send you this information tonight. Bye, Jaime. Yes. Well, what we have is a metallic object. I can see clearly in my handycam, and certainly it's strange. Doesn't seem to be a balloon.
I mean, look at the way that thing is moving, and it's like growing in and out of itself.
Now I'm using 100x.
Here, come here. You want to see it?
Power.
Yeah, I don't want to.
I am using 100x power here.
Anyways, this came out in 2008. Let's see here. This is from the 1950s. Let me see. I think this is where the guy talks about when he came up with the term Foo Fighters.
The first to refer to these lights as Foo Fighters was a radar operator named Donald J. Myers of the American 415th Night Fighter Squadron. In American English in the 1930s and 40s, Foo was a well-known nonsense word made popular by a comic strip called Smokey Stover, which centered on a firefighter who referred to fire as Foo and to himself as a Foo Fighter. On a flight in November 1944, Myers and his pilot, Ed Schluter, saw what they described as 8 or 10 orange or red balls of fire that hovered on the horizon, then disappeared when the plane turned towards them. The objects reappeared in the distance, moved horizontally for a while, then vanished. An intelligence officer who attended the debriefing said that Myers was extremely rattled by the experience. He brought a copy of the comic strip to the meeting and slammed it down on the officer's desk, shouting, "It was another one of those fucking Foo Fighters," before storming out of the room. A few nights later, another crew saw a huge red light flying over their plane at 200 miles per hour. Fucking Foo Fighters became the term of choice for these lights in the 415th until the aircrews shared their stories with the press and the expletive was removed.
Again, now, this has been going on since the 1940s. Okay? If our pilots were reporting them, people in the highest levels of our government were also aware of it. And again, the people that question whether or not our government has been hiding information, why even ask that? That's a stupid question to ask because we all know the answer. But anyways, let me go on to this next video here. Yeah, this is very interesting. Not necessarily anything like UFO-like, but it is, I guess it could be kind of creepy.
Formed with small pieces of tin and inserted in the wood with great care and regularity. Of course, boys being boys, they had no idea of the value of their discovery, and according to the article in the Scotsman newspaper, they destroyed half of them on the way home by pelting them at each other as unmeaning and contemptible trifles. People who saw the coffins and dolls at the time immediately thought that they were the result of witchcraft and black magic. And indeed, the Scotsman would fan the fires of such speculation, writing, "Our own opinion would be, had we not some years ago abjured witchcraft and demonology, that there are still some of the weird sisters hovering about Mushet's cairn or the Windy Gowl, who retain their ancient power to work the spells of death by entombing the likenesses of those they wish to destroy." Another theory at the time was that the dolls might have represented dead sailors who had died at sea, effigies created to give them a proper burial, while others still thought that the boys were just playing a prank. Whatever the case may be, after the initial news coverage, the coffins were just sort of forgotten and quietly found their way to a private collector.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good theory that these represent like sailors that may have been lost at sea, and this was just a ceremonial burial for them. It seems kind of plausible. But anyways, a link to this will be in the description. Let me go into this article here that I thought was very interesting because, this actually just came out in, this is from 1885. So I wonder if this is still around, like this Moberly. But check this out. Let me give this a quick read. St. Louis, Missouri, April 8th. The city of Moberly, Missouri is stirred up over the discovery of a wonderful buried city, which was discovered at the bottom of a coal shaft 360 feet deep, which was being sunk near the city. A hard and thick stratum of lava arches in the buried city, the streets of which are regularly laid out and enclosed by walls of stone, which is cut and dressed in a fairly good, although rude, style of masonry. A hall 30 by 100 feet was discovered, wherein were stone benches and tools of all description for mechanical service. Further search disclosed statues and images made of a composition closely resembling bronze, lacking luster. A stone fountain was found situated in a wide court or street, and from it a stream of perfectly pure water was flowing, which was found to be strongly impregnated with lime. Lying beside the foundation were portions of the skeleton of a human being. The bones of the leg measured the femur 4 1/2 feet, the tibia 4 feet and 3 inches, showing that when alive the figure was 3 times the size of an ordinary man and possessed of a wonderful muscular power and quickness. The head bones had separated in 2 places, the sagittal and the corona sartoris having been destroyed. The implements found embraced bronze and flint knives, stone and granite hammers, metallic saws of rude workmanship but proved metal, and others of similar character. They are not so highly polished nor so accurately made as though now finished by our best mechanics, but they show skill and an evidence of an advanced civilization that are very wonderful. The searching party spent 12 hours in the depths and only gave up exploration because of the oil in their lamps being low. No end to the wonders of the discovery was reached. The facts above given are vouched for by Mr. David Coates, the recorder of the city of Moberly, and Mr. George Keating, city marshal, who were of the exploring party. A further extended search will be made in a day or two. Published April 9th, 1885, the New York Times. Now, I think this is very similar because I've also done articles about buried cities found in early LA when they were building Los Angeles. They supposedly found a reptilian city. So, there's definitely some truth to this. Anyways, let me go on to this next article here. This is the oldest recorded Bigfoot encounter. The oldest account of Bigfoot was recorded in 986 AD by Leif Erikson and his men. During their first landing in the New World, the Norsemen wrote about man-like beasts that were horribly ugly, hairy, swarthy, and with great black eyes. Among his accounts, Leif told of seeing huge hairy men who towered over him and his men. The huge hairy men, according to Leif, lived in the woods and had a rank odor and a deafening shriek. It should be noted that Leif Erikson and his men describing huge man-like beasts that were loud and foul-smelling and clearly distinct from native peoples. Apparently, Leif had several sightings of the huge hairy men before departing the island. They called the creatures skelring. People believe that the creature skelring is what we know today as Bigfoot. This is the earliest recorded encounter with Bigfoot or Sasquatch. Yeah, and again, I still don't understand how there are people who don't think that these Bigfoot are real when people have been encountering them for thousands of years, just like UFOs, right? There are cave paintings of UFOs, and I still am amazed that there were morons like Mick West and Michael Shermer, and even supposedly, highly intelligent people like Neil deGrasse Tyson is trying to deny the existence of aliens, which again, it's just so stupid. But anyways, let me go on to this next article here. Yeah, newly uncovered NASA reports revealed pilot encounters with UFOs. Yeah, so all of this time, right, every time NASA says, oh, there are no UFOs, there's no aliens, that we haven't found anything, they are lying. Just like most people in our government. Okay, they're not into telling us the truth. They're just into lies. From 3,500 feet, the clear August afternoon offered an exceptional view of New York's Catskill Mountains. The light breeze over Greene County had been ideal for an afternoon flight, and one private pilot operating a small sailplane over East Windham had decided to take full advantage of it. Accompanied by a passenger friend, his first time in the air, the aviator and his companion were making their steady ascent. Mountaintops rolled beneath them in the distance, the nearest of which, Windham High Peak, rose out of the landscape just a few miles away to the southwest. The flight had been casual, and it remained so even after the pilot's attention had been drawn away from the view and down towards a bright object that caught his eye near the treetops below. Rather than being a stationary fixture on the ground, this object appeared to be some kind of small aircraft moving at a high rate of speed. So anyways, yeah, this whole article is about different pilots and their encounters with our neighbors. Okay, we're not alone on the planet, folks. Let's see, let me go to this last video here. This is Brian Forster, and he's showing you about Petra. I'm sure many of people have seen. I think it was the beginning of one of the Indiana Jones movies. Let's see where they show you the entrance. I think it's to one of the great halls. Look at the size. Okay, here are people. Look at the size of this. And the idea, again, there are academics who want to insist that this was done by primitive people using primitive tools. But those academics are stupid. This is obviously not done by primitive people. And I'm even questioning whether Brian Forster thinks that it was done by the Nabateans, that the Nabateans paid some Greeks to come out here. I think that's possible. I think that could be possible. But anyways, yeah. So most people see this. He claims that you have to go an additional 5 miles in to see this. Check this out.
So what you're going to hear inside this massive chamber will probably, hopefully, blow your mind. So some of you may think that was a bit of a nutty thing to do, but it's absolutely true that this giant chamber of 300,000 cubic feet removal of material resonates to ohm, as does the King's Chamber in the Great Pyramid, and also some of the sites that are megalithic in nature in Peru. So this seems to be a standard tone. So, tuned to ohm, just like the King's Chamber in the Great Pyramid. Oh! Done on purpose. And these are the original tool marks.
Yeah, look at that. Look, okay, yeah, obviously there was some type of machine because they left tool marks. Similar tool marks are found in the Longview caves. And here another thing I want to point out. I've shown this before. Okay, these are Earthlings. Okay, these people can still be found living on planet Earth in tribes. They are considered hunter-gatherers, right? In the early days, they were considered hunter-gatherers. Look like these people. Okay, these are modern tribes, but I can almost guarantee that if we were to get into a time machine and go back to whatever area these people are living in now, we went back 10,000 years. I'm almost going to guarantee that we would encounter very similar people like this. Even if you went wherever this guy lives from, right? Oh, he's probably in Tibet someplace. I can almost guarantee if we took a time machine and went back 10,000 years, we would encounter someone very similar to this guy 10,000 years ago. Same thing, these people, right? These are Earthlings. They have melanin in their skin, right? One thing these guys aren't doing, and they don't have a history of doing, they aren't building stuff like this. Okay, you see this in the background? These Earthlings, right, have no history. There is nothing in the archaeological record showing these people building things like this. And again, these people that build these things, they didn't have melanin in their skin. They sunburn. These people, they don't sunburn. And again, and most of these people lived around the equator. Suddenly, you get people who decide they want to live in the desert, or even like people who decided that they want to live way in the mountains, away from all of these people. So they decided to build their civilizations high in snowy areas. And again, and they don't have melanin in their skin, but if you go to those areas, right, their architecture, their culture is nothing like these cultures. Okay, these are Earthlings. Okay, I think these people were designed for this planet. Whereas these people, right, they came to this planet. They brought all of this knowledge and all these skills from somewhere else. Most likely Mars, because Mars is further from this sun, and you probably didn't need melanin if you lived on Mars. But anyways, that's just my thoughts. That is going to be it for this video. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share this video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe.